And welcome back, everyone. It's time for Daybreak and 10 on Color 10.
We are on the air with you for the next 10 minutes without commercials beginning right now. And first, let's head on over to meteorologist Beth Finello with our forecast first. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning, Jen. Good morning, everyone. We're starting off this morning with a couple of clouds. No rain on the radar, but you are going to need your umbrella and your rain jacket as you're heading out the door. We're in the 30s right now, so bundle up. 39 degrees in Branson. We do have some patchy to dense fog in Branson, Harrison, and West Plains this morning. 37 in Camdenton, 40 up in Rolla with about 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Our feel like temperatures are in the 30s this morning, so you are going to want to bundle up as you head out. We've got cloudy skies through the morning hours. Showers will start to move in around lunchtime, and then we've got those shower chances throughout much of the afternoon. Temperatures will top off in the 50s. I expect some heavier pockets of rain, so a flood watch has been issued from 1 o'clock this afternoon through 7 o'clock tomorrow evening for those counties along and south of Highway 60, where 1 to 3 inches of rainfall is possible. So as always, turn around, do not drown, do not walk, swim, or play in the floodwaters. You'll notice the yellows, the oranges, the reds. Those are those heavier pockets of rain. That continues into the overnight hours and into the morning hours tomorrow. We keep the shower chances through about lunchtime, and then those will start to pull away as we head into the afternoon. So here's what you can expect. That flood watch has been issued, starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon, goes through 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Creeks, rivers, low water crossings, those are areas of concern with 1 to 3 inches of rainfall possible between today and tomorrow. We do start to dry out Friday, and Halloween looks quiet. This weekend, also set your clocks back 1 hour Sunday morning. Also a great time to check and change your batteries and your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, as well as your weather radios. Here's your 7-day forecast. I mentioned that sunshine. That starts on Friday, sticks around for this weekend. We'll be in the 60s for Halloween. We'll be in the 50s on Sunday, a little bit cooler as a quiet cold front comes in. But we are back in the 60s for Monday and the middle and upper 60s by Tuesday.
Thank you, Beth. New for you this morning, Governor Mike Parson has declared October as Infant Sleep Awareness Month as a way to draw more attention to safe sleep environments for babies. Color 10's Nyjah McDonald is here in studio to share ways you can help keep your child safe. Nyjah.
Yeah, Joe, well, good morning. Experts say when parents and caregivers use the ABCs of sleep, which is having their baby sleep alone, on their back, and in a bare crib, the infant is more likely to live to see its first birthday. Now, every year in the state of Missouri, around 90 babies die as a result of unsafe sleep practices. These deaths, Emily Van Shankoff with the Children's Trust Fund says are 100% preventable. She says as society changes, so has our knowledge of how babies sleep best.
I serve on our state's child fatality review panel and on the local Callaway County review panel. And so I have seen a number of these deaths over my career, and they're heartbreaking. And every year it's 90 babies. These are real babies. They're not theoretical. They are real little humans that have the potential to have a full, long, happy life. And these families are devastated because they just didn't know. And so we think it is so important to just get the message out in so many different ways.
Well, Van Shankoff stresses the importance of also reminding everyone who cares for a baby, including babysitters and family members, how to keep a baby safe while sleeping.
All right, Nyjah, thank you. News around America this morning. More than 1,800 firefighters have been deployed to fight 2 fast-raging wildfires in California, including the larger Silverado fire, which started Monday. The flames are being fanned by strong winds. Over 80,000 homes have been evacuated so far, with close to 30,000 acres of land affected by both wildfires.
Protesters are demanding for answers after the death of a 20-year-old man who crashed a moped Friday night while being pursued by D.C. police. Karan Hilton crashed into a car after they tried to pull him over, but Hilton's friends and family say police hit him. Tuesday night, protesters in Washington demanded body camera footage to be released and a full police report from this incident. A crowd rushed the doors of a police station attempting to get in, as rocks and bricks were also thrown at officers. 1 arrest was made and 4 officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
Residents of Philadelphia marched in the streets for the second night in a row after a black man was killed by police on Monday. Protesters angry after 27-year-old Walter Wallace Jr. was shot by police who were trying to disarm him. Wallace was holding a knife. The group moved from street to street chanting for reform as riot police chased after them. The city deployed more officers and has called for help from the National Guard as it braces for further unrest.
And in looking at news around the world, Typhoon Molave hit Vietnam with destructive force today, causing at least 2 deaths and sinking 2 fishing boats with 26 crew members on board. 93-mile-an-hour winds killed a man by knocking him off his roof as he was trying to reinforce it. Authorities shut down offices, factories, and schools and asked people to remain indoors to prevent casualties. 40,000 people were evacuated further inland before the storm even reached land.
And a bomb attack in the Afghan capital of Kabul killed at least 3 civilians and injured 14 others. The attacker detonated the bomb installed on a roadside car. In addition to causing casualties, the violent explosion also caused varying degrees of damage to nearby buildings. A second car bomb was detonated at a special police force base. Once the bomb went off, attackers began firing at the base as well. At least 5 policemen died in the crossfire, with 25 policemen and 9 civilians injured.
Going around the region now, Kansas City's Finance, Governance, and Public Safety Committee will debate today whether or not to extend the city's hiring freeze through next April. This proposal would extend previous cost-cutting measures because of the pandemic through April 30th. There would be exceptions for jobs paying less than $20 an hour. New service contracts would also be banned, but not in the case of public health and safety.
Continue to have people who respond to emergency calls. We need to have our public safety units, but we are looking for cost savings from every department because the reality is that there are real cost challenges and cost flow challenges that hit the entire city.
That was Mayor Quinn Lucas. He has already asked department heads to trim budgets by up to 11% next year, projecting a $60 million budget shortfall.
Well, some in Kansas City who needed a sign from above to convince them to vote got one yesterday. 2 civil engineering professors at UMKC took to the skies to literally spell it out. Mayor Quentin Lucas took to Twitter and offered people 4 different versions of the word vote. And the poll decided which version would be drawn out in the air. The pilots say the version chosen was the most difficult one of them all. But overall, they believe they did a pretty good job and most importantly, may have convinced someone to vote.
Flight was great. We had a good time, a couple of aggressive turns, but I think looking at our track, we did a pretty good job of duplicating the mayor's signature.
A new playground for all is getting put in place outside St. Louis with a bit of a Cardinals touch to it. The Whitey Herzog Foundation teamed up with nonprofit Rainbow for Kids to create a wheelchair-accessible playground. The city of Sunset Hills outside of St. Louis was awarded a $370,000 grant to expand the Watson Trail Park playground.
It's going to be great because it's going to be different than a lot of other playgrounds because the children in wheelchairs will actually be able to stay in their wheelchair and go out to the playgrounds. It'll be fun.
The playground is set to open in early spring of 2021. Let's take a look now at what's coming up for you on CBS This Morning.
Coming up, 2 grand jurors in the Breonna Taylor case break their silence in an exclusive interview with Gayle King. Plus, we go inside Operation Warp Speed. Can a COVID vaccine be made in time and be trusted? Coming up on CBS This Morning.
Top Google trends happening right now. Big news in the sports world last night. The LA Dodgers win the World Series. That's a look at the Los Angeles Times front page right there. First World Series win since 1988, guys.
It has been a long time, and they have been waiting for this a long time. So this is their 6th win since they moved to LA, but 7th overall. Is that correct?
That is right. That is correct. And you say they've been waiting a long time. 88 is a while ago, but also this team won 8 straight division titles the last 8 years. Never won the World Series out of that. They've had a lot of good teams and a lot of choke job rumors being thrown around, putting those to bed now with that. So now, within the same month of October, the Lakers and Dodgers have won the NBA title and MLB title.
Oh, wow.
How do you like that?
Wow, Los Angeles
Big
is hopping.
It is. Big old party there now,
Wow.
you know.
Yeah, I know. they gotta be safe when they're partying, though.
Right,
you know, and
right,
getting
yeah.
excited for it, but a lot of
But they-
happy fans with that.
Yeah, and they'll be celebrating this, you know, through next year, too.
I was going to say for a very long time.
Yeah,
Very, very true.
exactly. So.
The other big news that's happening, though, has been Zeta, something Beth's been keeping an eye on really all week, right?
So this is the 27th named storm of
That's
the season.
unbelievable.
That ties with the 2005 hurricane season, which of course, as we know, was a big one with Hurricane Katrina and Camille.
Yeah.
And there were several hurricanes that season. This is the 7th time that Louisiana has been in the cone of uncertainty, which is that track that the National Hurricane Center puts out.
7th time within
Just this year.
Just this season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just in the last couple of
Last few months.
Within the last 2 months, this will be the 3rd landfalling hurricane in Louisiana.
Oh my gosh. All right. And
That's
so,
a lot to deal with in such a short time to be living somewhere like that. I mean,
Exactly.
we hear about things like that and hearing about California too and the fires and people having to evacuate. I can't even imagine just the stress of having to be watching for those things and it gets closer to where you live.
Exactly. Yesterday alone, we had ice storm warnings in Oklahoma and hurricane warnings in Louisiana.
Oh my
So
gosh.
very busy.
all right. Yes, very active there. We're still getting a lot of cloud cover today, right?
Yes, and we've got those rain chances, so very active today, some heavier pockets of rain and some flooding concerns today and tomorrow. Good news is we end the week quiet with a lot of sunshine.
All right, good news. Seeing that sunshine on the 7-day. Thanks, Beth, and thanks for joining us here on Daybreak. We'll see you at midday.